He wanders, a ghost on a dead world, scanning the horizon for anything, for a sign, for a miracle. He doesn't expect to find a human face. He doesn't dare to hope. And then, a signal. A faint, intermittent blip on his suit's proximity sensor. Another survivor? It can't be. He follows the signal, his heart hammering against his ribs, a frantic drumbeat of disbelief and burgeoning hope. Over a ridge of jagged purple rock, he sees it. Another crashed pod, and standing beside it, a figure. A man. His name is Dwayne. He's a large man, built like the asteroids he mines, with a beard that seems to hold the dust of a dozen worlds. The relief that washes over Andy is tidal. It's a feeling so powerful it almost brings him to his knees. He is not the last man in the universe. Dwayne, with a grim but welcoming demeanor, explains their shared predicament. He points to the wreckage, his voice a low rumble of cynical resignation. Shortcuts, he says. The company forces us to take them. Shave a few days off the trajectory, save a few million in fuel. They rolled the dice with our lives, and we just lost. They're the sorry victims of a cold corporate calculation. 2 men, discarded on a spreadsheet. Despite the grim reality, Dwayne has managed to send a distress signal to Earth. Help is on its way, but space is vast and rescue is not instantaneous. It will take a year. A full year. It's a lifetime, but it's also a lifeline. A sliver of hope to cling to in the desolation. For a moment, things looked sunny when all had seemed doomed. They are survivors. They will wait. They will endure. They talk, sharing stories to stave off the crushing silence of the planet. Andy is looking at his console, trying to get a better read on their life support systems when Dwayne goes quiet mid-sentence. Andy looks up. Dwayne? He's gone. Vanished. There's no cry, no struggle that Andy witnessed. Just absence. One moment he was there, a solid, reassuring presence, and the next, only empty space and a faint drag mark in the red dust leading into the shadows of the looming rocks. Andy's flabbergasted, his mind refusing to process what his eyes are seeing. Where did he go? Was he imagining him? Panic begins to bubble in his chest. The planet is not just empty. It's hungry. Something is out there. Something silent and fast and deadly. The brief warm light of hope is extinguished as quickly as it appeared, plunging Andy back into a darkness deeper and more terrifying than before. Before the sheer terror of his renewed isolation can consume him, another sound cuts through the silence. It's a transmission, crackling through his helmet's comm system. A voice. A woman's voice. Her name is Naomi Calloway. Is anyone there? She pleads, her voice strained with pain and fear. Can anyone hear me? I'm trapped. My pod, it crashed. My leg is stuck. Please, I need help. Andy freezes. Another survivor. The planet is a graveyard, but it is not entirely empty. Naomi is out there, somewhere, in the vast, dangerous landscape. She tells him her coordinates. She's far, a perilous journey away. But she has something he needs desperately. Her pod's life support is partially active. She has reserves of oxygen. The very thing he is bleeding away with every passing second. His own AI, Leonard, immediately chimes in, its voice a stream of cold, calculated logic. Warning, it states. The proposed route is fraught with extreme danger. The terrain is inhospitable.
Subterranean predators have been detected. Temperatures fluctuate to lethal levels. Venturing out is inadvisable. The primary directive is the preservation of corporate equipment. preservation of corporate equipment. The words echo Dwayne's cynicism. The suit isn't trying to save Andy, it's trying to save itself. Naomi seems to hear the hesitation in his silence. "Don't listen to that thing," she urges, her voice gaining a surprising strength. "It's programmed to protect the hardware, not you. I have oxygen, Andy. You need it to live. I need you to get me out of this wreckage. We need each other. Survivors have to band together. It's the only way." He is at a crossroads. Trust the machine, stay put and slowly suffocate in the name of preserving equipment. Or trust the voice of a stranger, risk a journey across a world that has already claimed one life, and fight for a shared survival. He looks at the drag marks in the dust where Dwayne had stood. He thinks of the crushing loneliness. And he makes his choice. He chooses her. He chooses hope. "I'm coming for you, Naomi," he says, his own voice sounding distant and small against the planet's immense silence. "Just hang on." And so, the journey begins. Andy ventures forth into the unknown, a lone pilgrim on a hostile world. The landscape is a masterpiece of malevolence. Jagged spires of crystalline rock tear at the sky. Deep chasms carve the land, hiding untold dangers in their shadowy depths. The ground itself is unstable, shifting from treacherous gravel to fine, sinking sand. His only companion is Naomi's voice, a constant presence in his ear. They talk for hours, their voices weaving a fragile thread of connection across the desolate miles. They are two disembodied souls chatting in the dark on a forlorn planet. Their exchanges are frank, stripped of pretense by their dire circumstances. He tells her about his life, the quiet grief he carries for his family. She tells him of her own dreams, the life she was supposed to be living before her pod was ripped from the sky. They become close, their shared vulnerability forging a bond faster and stronger than years of normal conversation ever could. She is his focus, his mission, his reason to put one foot in front of the other. But the planet does not make it easy. It watches him, and it sends its children to test him. He first encounters them in a wide, flat basin. Scorpion-like creatures, the size of large dogs, with chitinous black armor and multiple skittering legs. They emerge from fissures in the ground, their movements fast and jerky, their intentions purely predatory. A chase ensues. Andy runs, his lungs burning, his legs pumping with adrenaline-fueled desperation. The creatures are relentless, swarming him, trying to flank him. He's no soldier, no action hero. He's an asteroid miner, and he is wildly out of his depth. He scrambles up a rock face, the creatures snapping at his heels. He escapes them, only to face a new horror. As he crosses a seemingly solid patch of ground, it gives way beneath him. It's not ground. It's the mouth of a colossal, subterranean beast. He is being sucked down, the sandy terrain pulling him into a dark, waiting maw. This is it, he thinks. This is how it ends, swallowed by the very planet he's stranded on. But then a moment of impossible beauty. A swarm of glowing bioluminescent insects, like fireflies from a forgotten dream, rises from the ground around him. Their light is soft, ethereal, and their presence seems to startle the great beast below. The sucking sensation lessens, the fireflies create a path of light, showing him the way to solid ground. He doesn't understand it, but he accepts it. A moment of grace in a world of terror. He pulls himself free, collapsing on the edge of the pit, his body trembling, saved by the planet's smallest and most gentle inhabitants. Finally, after a journey that feels like a lifetime, he sees it. Naomi's pod wedged violently between two pillars of rock, a plume of smoke still faintly rising from its hole. He scrambles towards it, shouting her name into the comms. He finds her inside, just as she said, pinned by a twisted piece of metal, her leg trapped. The relief in her eyes when she sees his face through the helmet visor is a mirror of his own. They are no longer just voices. They are real. Working with frantic energy, he manages to pry the wreckage away, freeing her. He helps her out of the pod, supporting her as she leans on him. She is safe. He has oxygen. They have made it. For a fleeting, beautiful moment, they stand together under the alien sky, two survivors who found each other against impossible odds. But safety on this world is an illusion. The commotion of the rescue has drawn unwanted attention. They emerge from the shadows, from the ground, from the crevices in the rocks. The scorpion-like creatures. Not one or two, but dozens. A chittering, clicking tide of black carapaces and sharp claws, their single-minded goal fixed on the two vulnerable humans. Naomi stares, her face a mask of shock and horror. She has been trapped in her pod, blissfully unaware of the true nature of the world outside. There is no time to think, only to run. The climax begins, a feverish, frenzied chase across the alien terrain. They scramble, they stumble, they fight for every inch. Their destination? A larger evacuee ship they had identified from a distance, their last, best hope for a secure shelter. They stagger towards it, the creatures relentless at their heels. They reach the ramp, scramble inside, and slam the heavy door shut just as the first of the monsters crashes against it. They are safe, for now. The inside of the evacuee ship is cavernous, deserted, and silent. It's a ghost ship. They are alive. They are together. But the ship may not be as immune to intruders as they think. A shudder runs through the deck. A sound of tearing metal from above. A creature has found a way in. It drops from a ceiling vent, a hulking specimen larger and more ferocious than the others. It lets out a piercing shriek and the hunt begins anew, this time in the claustrophobic metal corridors of the ship. They scamper through the deserted vessel, scrambling through discarded equipment and empty rooms. The creature is always right behind them, a relentless engine of destruction. They believe it's all over, trapped in a metal tomb with a monster. In this moment of perceived finality, Andy's mind flashes to them, his wife, his son, the life he lost. It's not a moment of weakness, but of profound clarity. He survived their loss. He survived the crash. He crossed a hostile world to save Naomi. He will not fail now. He is not just fighting for himself anymore. He is fighting for her. He is fighting to prove that human connection, that a promise made, means something more than the cold logic of survival. An idea sparks. A desperate, crazy idea. He looks at his own escape pod, the one he crashed in, still partially docked in the ship's bay. He turns to Naomi. "Get to the bridge," he yells. "Be ready." He clambers into his pod, the creature closing in. He powers it up, the familiar hum, a welcome sound. "Leonard," he says, his voice steady. "Plot a descent trajectory. Target the creature. On my mark." The AI responds. That action is highly likely to result in the complete destruction of this pod. "I know," Andy says, a grim smile on his face. "Just do it." The pod, the small vessel that was both his prison and his transport, crashes down with immense force, crushing the alien monster beneath its weight in a final, sacrificial act. Silence descends upon the ship once more. A deep, profound silence filled only with the sound of two people breathing. It's over. The creature is dead. Andy emerges from the ruined pod, bruised but alive. Naomi rushes to him. They don't speak, they don't need to, they simply hold each other, two people who have been to hell and back, finding solace in their shared survival. The film ends with them standing at the main viewport of the evacuee ship. They're battered, exhausted, and forever changed, but they are alive, and they are together. They stare out at the vast alien landscape, now bathed in the soft light of a rising moon. It is still a dangerous, predatory world. Rescue is still a year away. 1,000 things could still go wrong. There may be other, bigger predators lurking in the distance.
But as they look out at that horizon, they're not filled with despair. They're filled with a quiet, resilient hope. They have faced the unknown and survived. They have learned that even in the most desolate, unforgiving corners of the universe, the most powerful force is the connection between two people. They are no longer alone. They have each other. And as they wait for a rescue ship from a home that feels impossibly distant, that is enough.